Hello friends. Now the second unit we are going to discuss is about of the statistics will be the data collection and representation. So this is our module 2. In this, the module objectives are understand the significance and process of data collection, identify the steps involved in data collection, differentiation between primary and secondary data, explain the importance of the questionnaire method, define a questionnaire, define the term population, explain the importance of census and sampling statistical calculus, describe the role of sampling in identifying a population, analyze the various types of samples, explain the probable sampling errors. The facts and figures which can be numerically measured are studied in statistics. Numerical measures of the same characteristic are known as observation, and collection of observations is termed as data. So data are collected by individual research workers or by organization through sample surveys or experiments, keeping in view the objectives of study. Primary and secondary data. So what is primary data? Primary data means the raw data which has just been collected from the source and has not gone any kind of statistical treatment like sorting, tabulation, etc. Primary data means original data that has been collected specially for the purpose in mind. It means someone collected the data from the original source firsthand. Secondary data which has already been collected by someone may be sorted, tabulated, and has undergone a statistical treatment. Secondary data is data that has been collected for another purpose. Now, sources of primary data. The sources of primary data are primary units, such as basic experimental units, individuals, households. So following methods are used to collect data from primary units usually, and these methods depends on the nature of the primary unit. So personal investigation, thorough investigation, thorough questionnaire, through local sources, through telephone, through internet, the primary data can be collected. Sources of secondary data. The secondary data may be available from various sources. There are major sources of secondary data that are published sources, unpublished sources, government organizations. Some reports are there. So semi-government organizations, the reports from that, those organizations, teaching and research organizations, research journals and newspapers, internet. So these are the secondary data sources. This is the classification of data collection. So secondary data is divided into internal and external. In case of internal, require further processing and ready to use, and external data is classified as published material, computational databases, or syndicate sources. So tabular representation of data. So presentation of data refers to putting the data in an attractive and useful manner such that it can be easily interpreted. Very importance in data statistics. So that is very important, that how you are representing the data. So there are three forms of presentation of data. First is textual presentation, second is data tables, and diagrammatic presentation. So a tabular representation facilitates representation of even large amounts of data in an attractive, easy to read and organized manner. The data is organized in rows and columns. This is one of the most widely used forms of presentation of data, since data tables are easy to construct and read. Now, components of data table. Components of data tables, these are table number, title, head notes, stubs, caption, body of field or field, footnotes, source. So these are the components. Then we shall see a construction of data table, and the components of data tables are comparison, alternative location of stubs, headings, footnotes, use of abbreviations and units. Advantages of, what are the advantages of tabular representation that we shall see? Easy of representation, ease of analysis, helps in comparison, and economical. Then tabular representation of data ungrouped. So it is frequency distribution. It presents the data of a discrete variable in a tabular form by listing all possible values that a discrete variable can take along with the corresponding frequencies. In this type, there are no class intervals with a specific range of data items. Instead, there are data items with their exact value and corresponding frequency. We use this when the data collected is very small. Now see the graphical presentation of data. So simple bar. A simple bar chart is a simplest presentation of statistical data classified according to a single characteristic. So in this way, you can represent it. Then the subdivided bar. This is another graphical representation of data. And subdivided or component bar chart is used to represent data in which the total magnitude is divided into components. This type of diagram shows the variation in different components within each class as well as between different classes. Now, you can have percentage bar diagram. So it is the subdivided bar chart may be drawn or on a percentage basis. To draw a subdivided bar chart on percentage basis, we express each component as the percentage of its respective total. And another type of graphical presentation of data is a pie chart as shown in the figure. So a pie chart is a circular representation of data. Here data is represented by sector of circle. The size of each sector is related to its frequency. Okay, so in this way the data collection and its representation we can see. So thank you, and in this way we have completed our the introduction of module 2, that is data collection and representation. Thanks.